important that I want everybody to understand that this is nothing but obviously a football banquet. And, you know, if I talk a little bit about these kids, I believe they've earned it. Every single kid in this program that has earned the right to be recognized. Sometimes I know I get a little long-winded, but I do try to keep it, you know, everybody's time involved. But we are here to celebrate, I think, a 2024 state championship. Years to say that. So first of all, I'll go through my list of thank yous, and we'll go ahead and get started. But first and foremost, and you guys that know me know this first and foremost, but if it's not for Jesus Christ, this is not at all possible. And I don't see that light. And those of you, and I'm kind of half crazy at visions that I get in things, because I don't know, just always had a deep. The Lord put something in my being a long time ago when I first came to Tarboro, that this is a special place. And it's been home to me and to my family. And there's the reason that, you know, going on 30 years, I love the kids of this community. I love this community support. I can't imagine doing this anywhere else. Obviously, I've chosen not to do it anywhere else. But I've just been so blessed to be on. But I can remember, and people thought I was crazy then, when we won the first state title in 2009. I don't know if you guys remember this or not, if any of you were even there, but we were having a celebration in the gym, and the gym was packed, and we were handing out shirts, everybody was having a good time, and I was talking, and I was so excited, and I remember, you know, I think we hung a banner up there, we talked about hanging a banner up there, and if you go to the gym now, you know, I made a comment, I was like, well, I tell you what, one of these days we're going to be in this gym and we're going to be seeing state championship banners stretch from that side of the gym all the way to that scoreboard. And I just popped that out there because I just believed it. I kind of saw it. And if you go to that gym now, we got another one to hang up. But I'll be daggone if we ain't getting close to that scoreboard. A lot of people are like, Coach, you just won one. What are you thinking about? It's like, man, you always got a dream, right? You always got to have a vision. You always got to have a passion. He's always put that in me, so I'm so thankful. Obviously, to my beautiful wife and my family, because every guy knows that you ain't doing this on your own, being gone as much as you're gone, and doing what you have to be doing if you want to do it at any job. Not just at football coach, but any job, especially if you have 4 children. Somebody's got to be at home taking care and doing business, and obviously she lets me do that. Any of your parents, you guys know I'm taking your kids, which you're probably thankful for a lot of the time as well. Obviously, my coaching staff, I have them with me all the time. So it takes everybody to make something like this happen. The administration, I have great support from my administration, from AD, Coach Bess, our superintendent, Dr. Bryant, Mr. Hopkins, our principal, assistant principal, Mr. Taylor, and Ms. Joyce. They've always supported Tarboro football. They do a great job of working with your young men in the school system. You know, unfortunately, we're not all angels, and sometimes we get in a little trouble because we're teenage guys and we do stupid things. But they do a great job of, hey, Coach, can you talk to this? Will you handle this? Let's try to, let's work on this. And they just do a fantastic job of realizing there's certain things that we can handle within house, or certain things obviously we can't. But I'll be honest with you, this group of young men has been outstanding to work with. When I'm talking about problems, this group, I don't know, maybe you indicate you're tardy sometimes, or you get to fussing with the teacher every now and then. But it's been a really, really great group of young men, top to bottom. And I know that starts at home, trust me, because I know what it looks like when it's lacking. And I know what it looks like when it's there. And with this group, you guys as parents, even the ones that can't be here today, have been doing, or grandparents, or anybody in that realm that's been doing a fantastic job. And like I said, it takes all of us, to make something special happen. And obviously we have it here at Tarboro. So thank you for that. Going through film detail or study football specifically, my chain game, Rick and Gary and Brad. These are things you guys don't ever pay attention to, but they've been doing it for me for years. Things I don't have to worry about. my film and stat crew, Coach Williams and Coach Johnson, they show up every single time. It just gets done. Things I don't have to worry about, and you just can't ever replace good help. And you guys that are in leadership positions know that. We have Butch Cannon, who's been doing a great job on the announcement. We got Buddy Edison, who always shows up working that clock. Training staff, Coach Body's there every day. He's got his 4 ladies. I don't think any of his ladies are here. I just haven't scanned the crowd yet. But man, God bless them. We got Asia, we got Kennedy, we got Trinity, and we got Terriana. You know, you got to think these are high school girls. And they're out there in June, and you guys know, especially my players, it's hot. And you're out there and you're watching heat indexes. Of course, you guys, we're getting our stuff done in the morning. We're off there about 11, but right around 10:15, you know that heat starts ratcheting up. And they're out there in the heat, taking care of us every single day, hours at a time. And then, you go through the season, and now you're in December, and now you're out there with hoodies on and scarves on, and you're all bundled up with business, and you're freezing. That's a long season. And these girls are just there. Coach Body's just there, taking care of our fantastic student athletes. And just what a fantastic job. So there's so many people that are involved behind the scenes that make this thing work, and I'm so thankful for that. Also, a few, the Tarboro Football Club got started up this year. What a fantastic organization that they've been doing a lot of work once again behind the scenes. I'm just going to put a roundabout number on it, but I would say somewhere this year they've helped save the school system, which now money can filtrate to other athletic departments. But I would say somewhere between roundabout figure 15 to 20 grand of just starting up and trying to help not only Tarboro football varsity level, but as it gets rolling. We got tremendous guys with great vision and great passion in that club. They're looking to trickle down to help the middle school, looking to trickle down to help the little guys. And so it's not just a Tarboro varsity football club, it's a club that's meant to help football here in this town, because they understand how important, not that all sports are, they are equally important. But we also know football sometimes has a little bit bigger of a draw. And if we can get our youth involved, which we do a fantastic job of our rep program, 7, 8 years old on up, it gives me great pride to go down there and watch those guys run our T offense with the little horns on their helmet on our field. That's establishing pride in who we are and what we're known for when these kids are that big. And let alone when they go to the middle school, and Coach Jones and his staff does a wonderful job. And I'm not even counting wins and losses. I'm just talking about character and how to do things right, and not only establishing a winning culture, but these kids run our 4-4 cover 3, they run our T, they run our system, they have our blitz calls. It is just a perfect little empire of Tarboro varsity. And then, of course, when they come to the JV, Hurdle gets them, polishes them up even more. By the time we get them, it's just time to polish these kids up, keep that winning tradition. And hopefully, our best years, we're able to shine to be the best team in the state. And even on we don't. It's hard to bring that dang old title home every year, as we know. But with that being said, it still does not take away from the fact, the way that these guys represent our community, our town, and you on every given Friday night. And so that, guys, Tarboro football is from everybody down to the little kids all the way up to the big guys. And I sincerely thank everybody in between those spaces. And so, along with that, if I ever forget anybody, I do apologize. I'm going to turn it over. I do want to thank, real quick, I just see I'm good at forgetting. Speaking of food, so I'm getting ready to get into the food train. But, and I know they never asked for anything, but my man Sean McDowell cooks food for our boys, and I know he has a team of the Powell family and him. I don't know who does what all the time, but I do know there's a boatload of chicken being cooked after practices just to say, we had to make spaghetti, and I thought it's all out of this world. And I know that stuff ain't cheap, and I know they don't want any recognition, but it does get done. The boys love it. It gives us something to look forward to every now and then, and we're very thankful for that. So I'm going to turn it over to a dear friend of mine who's handing out some cards. You guys have heard me talk about Chris Wooten before. He'll give you the exact numbers because God knows I can't remember. but he's been feeding Tarboro football for so many years, and I forget, what do we celebrate, Chris? I mean, how many thousands of meals? 13,000? What's that?
13,000.
13,000 meals he's after school. This is like, we're playing a state title game, and we got to be here early in the morning. That guy's up sometimes 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, putting together breakfast things for the kids and coming up here and having it in boxes, and he just does so much. And he's been such a blessing to me through my program. And so he's going to go over, he's helping us out doing a little fundraiser. As you guys know, we are state champions. That's the good news. The great news is I've just designed state championship rings. They're fantastic. They're beautiful. The kids are going to love them. That'll be sometime in April. It takes time. Each ring's around $300 a piece. You can do the quick math. If you're doing 65 rings, just take 60 times 300, you're at 18 grand very, very quickly. That's not even including taxes. So I am going to be going out and about looking for some help, some support out of our community. They've never failed these kids. They won't do it this time. But Chris has an idea that he's working on. So I'm going to turn it over to Chris and let him explain how you, very simply, can help this process through our kids. All right.
Congratulations on the state championship this year, too. Appreciate it. So, Tarboro Football Club is doing a fundraiser through Jersey Mike's. Okay? So what we got here is a card, and next week on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, you can bring these cards in and donate $5. All of it goes to Tarboro to buy rings for Tarboro football for the state championship. And you get a free regular sandwich from us with that. So you bring your card in, hand us the card, tell us what sandwich you want, we give you the sandwich, the $5 goes to Tarboro football. We're passing out 2,000 cards. We do these fundraisers all the time for all kinds of different organizations, and we normally run somewhere between 30 and up to 50% return rate. So if we can get 1,000 cards back, we're going to raise $5,000 in that 3 days. And that's going to buy almost, 20 rings. It's close to 20 rings. So the cards, bring them in, please, and redeem them. We're going to be staffed up. We're going to have plenty of people in there. We're going to have plenty of food. Just come in and call up. You can bring in more than one card. You can place an order for 10 or 15 to get a group together. Anything you want to do, okay? So please bring them in, and we look forward to seeing all you guys and raising money for Tarboro football and Tarboro Vikings football. And on a side note too, I'm gonna plug the guys who's gonna be cooking barbecue chicken. Or no, is it barbecue chicken y'all gonna be doing, right? Barbecue chicken. So they're gonna do a chicken cook on March the 7th too, and every proceed from that is gonna go to the rings too. So we're kind of helping with that a little bit. The guys, Mr. Moore, right? Yeah. So we're going to be helping them guys do that March the 7th, I believe, from 11 to 2. I think is when we're going to do that. It's going to be at the brew company we're going to pick up. But we're going to have cards made, 400 of them, and get them out too. And that's going to be in conjunction with the Tarboro Football Club also, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Okay, so we're just going to move on here very, very quickly. I'm going to introduce my varsity coaches. We're going to introduce the JV staff, and then we're going to recognize some JV players. And that we got Coach Cox. Come on down. Stay seated. Coach Riggs. Coach Ted, got some new love. Coach Duff. Got a gentleman who's usually here, does a great job. All these guys do great jobs. Coach Burnett, he's my offensive line coach. But he's down at the dumps right now. He happens to be in Hawaii with his wife celebrating. So he couldn't be here, but he's celebrating in Hawaii, so I'm sure he's fine. We have Coach Pat. Coach Hart. All right, so I'll talk about with these guys here. This is the brunt of my varsity staff, as you guys know, and understand this, nothing happens by accident. Everything is earned. And I know sometimes in Tarboro football land, you know, we're playing a playoff game and it's Warren County, we go out there and next thing you know, it's 50-something nothing at halftime, we win 71 nothing. Everybody's like, man, that's just so easy. Let me tell you something. The amount of work that goes in to that 2-hour time, unless you're doing it, you just don't understand that it is. You know, when you guys hear me say, okay, kids, you guys get to sleep in on Saturday morning, but guess what, guys, I'll meet you. You know, I try to sleep in myself. Usually it's 8 o'clock or whatever. Sometimes we're up earlier. We're up here, and we're usually up here, I would say, till at least noon, taking our first look at a team. And then that Sunday, and now you're in different meetings and studying more film together, and then putting game plans together, and tweaking game plans, and making phone calls. That stuff goes all weekend long. And it's a 7 days a week. It goes, and these guys are more than willing to put in the time. Nobody complains. It is what it is. They're always, hey, maybe can we look at doing this to get better? They're always bringing great ideas to the table, and they're always doing extra amount of time on their own. And so I get it. I'm the face, and I get to do the interviews, but I can promise you that without this and many others, there is none of that whatsoever. And you guys that are in positions of leadership, I know Mr. Hopkins would agree, you know, he's only as strong as you know, the teachers that he has underneath him and his principals underneath him. That's just how it goes. So you can be a great leader if you want to be. If ain't nobody following the lead and ain't nobody doing anything behind the scenes, then it ain't going to work. And so these guys are nothing but fantastic. They've been with me for so long, and I've been so blessed to have such a stable staff. And that is the main reason that we're always so good year in and year out. We know what it takes, we know the work, and we love putting in the work. So you guys can just stay up here. So a couple of my JV coaches, you guys look great. I want to introduce them too. So looking at the JV level, we got Coach Glass. I saw Coach Glass here. Coach Besto, Coach Hurdle was here. We got Coach White. Come on down, Coach. Coach Best, come on down. So, here's your Coach Amari Battle would be here, but he's busy, so been able to add 2 guys on for the first time this year. So you know you've been doing it for a while when you start adding on your ex-players that you coach that are now coaching on your staff. So I'm to that point, but let me tell you something, I've hired 2 great ones, which I knew they're going to be great, and they're going to, you start looking, not trying to be funny, but a lot of these guys ain't going to do this forever. You throw my name in that hat too. But what we're trying to accomplish is making sure that we're infusing new blood into the program. So when there is a changeover, these guys, this next generation is ready to go ahead and seize the reins and keep this thing moving. If I'm going to be honest with everybody in here, I've invested my life in Tarboro football. And I've loved it. I wouldn't change it for the world. But the last thing I ever want to see is Tarboro football collapse. And I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that no matter what happens and no matter what we got, that the standard's set. And the standard's going to remain the standard. So we're going to make sure this program is in good hands. We're going to make sure we got great young leaders in place now so they can learn. So when it's their time to step up, they're going to step up and they're going to run this program the right way. So if you would, please give these great coaches. So now I'm usually able to turn the program over to Coach Hurdle. Obviously he's not here. I was going to let Coach Battle introduce what email he sent. Is it email he sent them to? Yes. Okay. Coach Earl, okay. I got it right now. No. So, our JV football awards, first of all, I know Coach Earl would also say the same things I just echoed. You know, you got a great staff, obviously. You can't do it without help the administration. So all those things are right there. He asked for 5 awards, and obviously he could have handed out a lot more. But, you know, I didn't specifically coach these young men, so I know you guys are getting ready to be thankful. So I'm not going to sit here and say a whole lot about it because I'm not, you know, he coached them. I know some of them really do because I pulled them up and got to coach them on the varsity. But I don't want to slight some young men and not give credit to others speaking on his behalf. So obviously, these young men, fantastic young men, obviously he believes, you know, they did a fantastic job of what they were asked to do this year, and some stood out more than others. So without further ado, I'm just going to go down. We'll do the lineman award first. And I do believe we did pull this young man up, so I did get to learn about him a little bit. But the lineman award for JV team goes to Taylor Jenkins. We will go to, you guys can stay up here. So the Coaches Award, like I said, I can't speak for Coach Hurdle as to the reasons, but obviously when you're looking at a Coaches Award, it's about somebody who's been on time, who does things you want them to do, who may not specifically stand out all the time, but maybe that behind the scenes kind of guy. I'm not real certain, but his Coaches Award goes to a young man who I also was getting to know a little better. Seems to be a good hard worker in the weight room, Derek Wheeler. All right, so now we'll go to the Offensive MVP Award. Matter of fact, I know these 3 guys, all these guys coming up, I know them really, really well. I think all of them are going to be fantastic football players in the future. All of them had a great year. All of these guys, great kids, so I'm really, really looking forward to our future like always. So, but this year, the offensive MVP goes to Antonio Draw. See out there, right? All right. The defensive MVP award. I could speak a little bit more about this young man because I got to work with him very, very closely. So I got to know him pretty well over a 2-month span during practice because he was always one of the guys on our scout team. So I got to work kind of right behind him. Extremely coachable, extremely talented. He got a lot better from the end of his JV season till December. So this is kind of my empire, so I am expecting some great things out of this young man for the next couple of years. Defensive MVP goes to Mello Bowles. All right. And the team MVP, I've known this guy for quite a while. Matter of fact, I got a little picture of him when he was just about that big, still in the kitchen there. I think Cole might have been giving him a little rundown when he was just a little guy. But I don't know. He's overcome some bad parenting. I don't know how that happens. He knows this kid's a great kid. I love watching him play the game of basketball. Obviously, he had an impact on both sides of the ball, offensively, defensively. He's got the leadership gene in him. Going to be a great player, basketball. He's doing a little baseball too. Oh man, he does it all. So this year's MVP, without a doubt, old Reggie Hook. Coach Reed's been a Christian mentor for me since back in the day. We got off to a little rough start in our relationship. Something that we always laugh about, but he's been a mainstay for me. He's been a blessing for me. At one time, you know, we didn't see eye to eye spiritually, and I actually told him, the head coach that was my best friend at the time, that, you know, I didn't want to coach with this man anymore. We actually didn't coach with him anymore. And instead of Coach Reeves being bitter or angry, I was a young gun at the time. I was probably in my mid-20s, so I knew everything. And I remember him just went up to Coach Shot and said, well, you may not want me coaching with you, but I'll do anything you ask. Can I at least go scout for you? I'll go out and scout, live scout for you on a Friday. If you don't want me to coach, you know how many people would have been bitter and angry if you say, hey, basically, bud, we don't want you on our staff anymore. We're moving a different direction. Not too many people would have turned the other cheek. But instead, he's like, I respect that. Okay, what else can I do to help you? And I wasn't a Christian then, and he's been there by my side when I became one. He's been my mentor. Always gives me words of encouragement when times were tough. Just a great, great, godly man. Let me tell you something. He is a blessing to me, to my coaches, to your children especially, and obviously to the whole town of Tarboro. He says pregame meals. Well, I say pregame meal prayers, postgame prayers, pregame prayers. He's my prayer warrior. So let's give him a round of applause.
God is great. All the time. All the time. God is great. No matter what comes your way, you have a choice to make. I said a poem before I said a prayer. I woke up the other morning. I rushed into the day. I had so much to accomplish that I didn't have time. Troubles kept coming at me, and heavier came each task. I said, Lord, why don't you help me? He said, my son, you did that. I want to see joy and beauty. Today, we told on great and bleak. I said, Lord, why don't you show me? He said, my son, you didn't seek. I tried to come into past present. I used all my keys at the lock. He looked at me and said, my son, you did not. So when I woke up early this morning, I followed. Before entering the day, I had so much to accomplish. I had to take time to pray. I had to ask for His wisdom and guidance. I had to seek His will for my life. I had to knock, and the door is open to do what He would do so that I could be His child. This man has turned his life over to the Lord. When you turn your life over to the Lord, and you humble yourself, give Him the honor and glory, He will use you. And no matter what you do, and I'm going to brag on Chris for before I pray. That young man worked his tail off. He had a tragedy coming away from the work we used to see. When we get to the state championship, he's given an award because he wouldn't quit. He kept me a leader. No matter what comes your way, I pray that you would ask the Lord to use you, seek His will and guidance, and knock until He comes. Let us pray. Heavenly Father, you bless us more than we deserve. You give us opportunities that we have a choice as to what we do. These young men that are graduating and moving on, we pray that you continue to be with them. We thank you for the parents that have guided them up to this point. We pray that you would help them make decisions to continue to look for you for wisdom and guidance. We pray that our underclassmen will stay hungry. The church said, are you satisfied? Are you not willing to continue to work? As we look around the room, I see no weakling. I see parents, aunts, and uncles who've lifted these young men up, give them support, to try to make them the best they can be. We pray that they will continue to do that. I pray that you'll bless this food to nourish my body, because we know that we will lift you up, that men will be drawn to you, no matter what we say, no matter what we do, may you continue to guide us, keep us in your will. Because we ask in your will, it will be done. We ask, you hear. We know if we ask in your will, it will be done. In Jesus' name we pray.
Amen. All right, if you would, guys, let's go ahead and just start funneling through. It's about 7:15. We'll reconvene around 7:10. So we'll go ahead and ask my coaches, you guys please lead the way. So kind of follow the coaches. Players, I know this is the problem. You kind of follow behind. So when I start introducing the players, they'll kind of already been done eating. The parents, you guys can kind of finish up a little bit, and then the parents will come through. But it's a straight line shot, guys. Please don't eat. If we can help with either cafeteria, there's more tables out to clean up. Everything's kind of in here, so try to keep it as much as you can. Please pick up after yourself. You got plenty of trash cans and everything when you're done. So enjoy the food. Players, don't be shy. Never always use spike the line.
A portion of the proceeds for any t-shirt or hoodie sold, they're going to do a kickback and write a check back here to go towards state championship rings as well. So I know family, parents, grandparents, and loved ones and friends. So everybody go see Mike Craft and Liz at Cotton, so you can get this done. The one kicker, you only got till February the 14th to make this order and get your payment in. Okay? They will contact you when it's ready, but you've got to make this order done by Friday, February the 14th. Okay? So hopefully everybody can go out and go get some so we can show more pride to our state championship. All right, thank you.
Number 36, Reggie Best. Number 45, Carmelo Bullock. Number 66, Jaden Lancaster. Number 70, Carson Hamill. Number 78, Bryson Worsley. Number 80, Antonio Wrong. Number 6, Caden Everett. Number 7, Tyler Powell. Number 10, Josiah Dickens. Number 11, Jaden Jenkins. Number 15, Jalen Barr McNair. Number 30, Roger Devon Jr. Number 33, Kip Biggs. Number 34, Kevius Richard. Number 42, Camden Matthews. Oh, yeah. Number 50, Sincere Western. full inward. Number 64, Marcus Multiple. Number 76, Amari Staten. Number 85, LaMarcus Barnhill. I know this young man is at a wrestling tournament, but number 88, Landon Browning. We're going to see we're losing a lot of talent in a fantastic senior class, which we'll get to here in a minute. But as you can see, we've got some great, great young pieces coming up. So all these guys, we've already started our off-season workouts. The snow days got us a little bit, but we fired it right back up. Once again, they understand what the expectation is. This junior class understands now that they're going to be the leaders of next year's football team. They understand that these younger guys are looking to them now for guidance, for how to do things, locker room, practice habits, film study, weight room habits. These guys have experienced what it takes to bring the state title back home, being underneath the great senior class. And as you guys know, many of these guys were vitally important in helping us bring that home. So we are celebrating, obviously, a little bit of our past today. We're also acknowledging that the future is going to be in great, great hands. And I'm excited to work with them. Like I said, we're already getting to work, and they know the effort it's going to take. But we got a bunch of great kids here that are going to pave the way. So this time, a year from now, we can be celebrating their accomplishment as a senior class. And you guys, of course, are the class. Thank you, guys. Some of these seniors, because I may not get an opportunity to later, so work with me on that. But I will say this, and many of you know, Chris, I love the game of football, and obviously I've done it for my life. But the main negative about football is it's a violent sport, and unfortunately injuries are part of the game. And, you know, I'll be honest, senior class, I had a lot of great, hard-working young men. So I'm not taking away from any of them. But I will say this, that nobody on a daily basis, and I'm talking every day, came to work harder every day, consistent, whether it be weight room, whether it be practice, day in and day out, than this guy right here, Chris Gunter. He was going to have a great senior year. He's going to be, I know, starter on defense. I got the coaching. Man, I love having him on field. Read his keys. He was Mr. Dependable. And just on a freak thing at the Jamboree, I believe he caught a pass, just went to cut up field, and it happened right in front of him, and we lost him for the year. But I know one thing, this kid's going to be, without a doubt, a winner in life. He already is. He's one of the best kids I've ever coached. Kids like him that may not be a Division I player, may be a Division II player, it doesn't matter. Kids like Chris that make Tarboro football a special place to coach. And unfortunately, we lost him for the season in football. However, never missed, positive guy, rehabbing, and I talked to his lovely mom, Tarana, and we know he's going to be great things are in store for that young man. So, Chris, I'm so very Number 4, Gabe. Good time. Amari McNeil. So, with the theme of that, Amari, we asked to move positions as a senior. A lot of people don't know these things. I've asked some of these juniors already to switch positions for us next year. Because every year is a different little puzzle. You just got to figure out the puzzle. And one thing I've always loved about Tarboro kids is the answer is pretty standard. Coach, if that's what you think I need to be to help this team win, then I'll do whatever I can. And so, we moved Amari around different places to find the right fit for this year's team. And his constant theme was, whatever I can do, Coach, to help the team win. That's exactly what he did for us all year. Settling in a nice role, was helping us tremendously on special teams. And unfortunately, I can't remember what game it was, but it was on senior night of all nights. And he had a terrible injury on the field. I'm sure if you were at the game, you remember it. And unfortunately, his season also was cut short. So we didn't have many injuries this year, but the two we had were big ones, unfortunately. But once again, at least with Amari, Chris was able to get recognized before the game with an award that was easily, hands down, easy for him to receive. And we were fortunate enough for him to at least come back, dress out at the state championship game, get out there one more time at that stadium with his teammates, do some Viking jacks. And I know that may seem something little, but I'm sure something you're going to remember for the rest of your life. So he's going to be just as successful. All right. I digress. Number 12, Zaire Anderson. Maybe small in stature, may not stand out much, but he's one of those guys, hey coach, what can I do? And whether it be scout team every day offense, scout team every day defense, had him out there on special teams, making tackles for us in big ball games, always right there. Or sometimes he may have talked a little bit too much on the field. We won't get into that. But he was always right out there, played with a passion. And, when especially early on in the season when it's so hot and people are so gassed, a lot of these kids, they got to go out there and do roles. And as fans, you don't really know it because everything you think just runs like clockwork. I'm sure, ask my special teams coach stuff, it runs like clockwork all the time. It doesn't always run like clockwork. He makes it look like it does. But an invaluable piece to us on special teams, and just a pleasure to coach. So, second, thank you so much for everything you did for us. Number 17, Jermaine Staten. Of course, I got stories about every kid, right? You can't help them stories. So, Jermaine, he was always my scout team inside linebacker. I'm talking for years. Me and him back here. So he's like, this is every day. He's like, all right, coach, what do you got me read? And I'm excited when I say, well, you can read the lineman like we do. I said, just read your guard. He's like, I got you, coach. He gets right in there, bam. He's just reading guards, and going. He's doing it every single day. And I don't know if you know this or not, but our offensive line this year, pretty daggone good. We have some pretty big boys in there. Big, strong guys, tight end to tight end. And well, some teams, they blitz a lot. And they're not reading linemen, so they kind of get away from what we like to do. So I tell Jermaine, I was like, all right, Jermaine. I said, but I hate to tell you this. I was like, I got to be blitzing you like 304 plays. He said, I got you, coach. I got you. I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to walk you up in that. When I say, Jermaine, get up in there. You get up in there. I got you, coach. I said, all right, Jermaine, get up in there. He'd walk up in there. Of course, it's either Tyon or it's either Caleb or it's either Smokey, it's either Bill. Big, strong guy. They'd snap out ball. He'd try to go through the action. Bow! Sometimes he would sneak through there. Sometimes he would get smoked to the ground. He'd come up, he'd get his helmet. He's like, all right, coach, what blitz you want me to do? What I got my one? I'm like, I'm ready. Give me open the rest of the night, coach. I'm ready. And I always tell those are true stories. Now, this happened week after week after week after week. And you see him not making fun of him. He ain't that big of a kid either. And I tell you what, man, he got pretty dang strong. He became a really good linebacker. I'm telling you, he became a really good linebacker, made those keys, but that kid took so much pride in getting that offensive line ready. And I'll be honest with you, watch us play. You didn't see too many tackles in the backfield, did you? You didn't see too many people. You may say every now and then. That's because guys like him sacrificing that body in practice all the time. Jordan Williams, number 20. Yeah, my man. Atari, another one of those behind-the-scenes Tarboro kids. You can't win without them. You know, I've talked about 3 just right now in the senior class. It may not have been a 2-way start. You may not have been a 1-way start. But I tell you what, they would show up every day. They would do exactly what we asked them. Another guy on my kickoff team was out there. He was on kickoff return.
Big time recovery.
Yeah, you won that recovery in the state championship game. Football is, you know, you're going to be prepared for the moment. And you never know when that moment's going to come. He's been out in that field the whole time, doing our wall returns and doing what we do. And all of a sudden, here comes the old sneaking onside kick in the state title game. I think they just scored a touchdown, maybe a little momentum. I wasn't concerned, but anyway, I knew we had it. That onside kick came, and that ball was kind of hopping around a little bit. Boom. My man got it. Kept us the ball. We scored the next play, or some plays after that, we scored a touchdown. Cement the win, but like I said, so when you look at Tarboro football, I know we get caught up in team leaders and rushing people and tacklers and all that, and that's great. But never forget that there's a whole lot of great young men that have been busting their tail behind that scene to make us who we are as well. Charles, thank you, buddy. All right. Okay, we're 24 minutes inside the field. Number 25, Cameron Harper. Number 40, Jamal Brown. Jamal's another good example of just a kid. Coach, what can I do to help the team win? One day we had the out there just working on blocking punts. I'm not a big block punt guy. I said, hey man, I may need you. I think we could sneak, you and who's the one I work with, Tyler, Alex. We may work you guys in this week. If that wing kind of steps back, I think I can use your speed and strength. It's one of the fastest, strongest guys in the whole team. We could sneak through there, maybe get ourselves a little block punt early on in the game. I forget what game it was. It was in the playoffs. I know, did you get your hand on one, or Alex did, or somebody? I mean, early on in the game, once again, one of those players like, oh yeah, well, we blocked the punt. Well, it wasn't by accident. We were preparing to block that punt. And I was taking those guys like Jamal, hey man, let's work this technique and come and get your hand out. This is your aiming point. So when you get in that game, don't freeze. I mean, you just aim it. We don't want to run the punter, and I'll be daggone. Boom, it came. Boom, it was. Block punt. It kind of flipped there. We got great field position. Boom, scored an early touchdown. Route was on. Once again, because guys are taking the time, preparing behind the scenes to make a play like that happen, which turned the game in our favor. Thank you. All right, down the list here. 52, Kyle Wilson. All right. Let's see. Number 59, Alex Dickens. All right. Oh, number 65, Naquavion Smokey. All right, number 68, Caleb Chanel. Number 75, Jabari Pittman. I forgot. I'm going down my list here to see a lot of names. I think I can. Okay, all right. So, this senior class, obviously it's a special senior class. Every class is special in its own right. But these guys, that was part of our little pregame talk. We do a lot of stuff behind closed doors. Thank God it's not seen by the public. That's a good thing. But, people were talking about how our season was coming down to the end, and what are you going to do? And I was telling guys, I said, I'll be honest with you, our season hasn't started yet. This is the Saturday of the state title game. Our season is now. I mean, these guys, a lot of these guys were on the field as sophomores. And if you think it's easy getting to a state title game, and you're there, and you're in the competition, and you come up short, that's a bitter pill to swallow. And then to come back and start once again in January and do it till December, and you get an opportunity to make a long and right, and you come up short again. We had never lost 2 state titles in a row, ever. If we lost one, we always came back and won it the next year, or we didn't go back at all. But we had never been there twice and not won. And so the thing that impressed me about these kids, and that was part of my message, today's world, when the times get tough, you're basically told to quit. If it ain't going your way, if you ain't getting what you want, well, go to the transfer portal. Or if you ain't getting this, then go somewhere else. Well, these guys did the opposite. Not only did they come back and worked harder than ever. And they were like, listen, because we're not losing our senior year. I don't care what it takes. It's easy to say that. It's hard enough to do it. So you got to do that mindset every day. And I always told them, guys, if you will lead, I always tell my football teams, if the coaches got to become the leaders of the team, we're going to come up short. Because there's a team somewhere that we're going to play that the seniors have ownership of that football team. And that football team that's senior driven is going to be a team that's coach driven. Every single time, I promise you. And when I have a great team that's senior driven, I'll guarantee you we're going to win a state title that year. It's just the way it goes. I've been in it long enough. I've seen it. I know it. I knew this group had a chance to be successful. This is going to sound crazy to you. But it was important to them they kept the locker room clean. Right? Buy some air freshener. Want to keep it clean. Sweep it up sometimes. No, don't get me wrong. It ain't perfect. They don't clean it like I clean it. But you get a group of 16 guys that are willing to, hey, we want to keep our locker room clean. That may sound silly to you. That tells me they take pride in who we are. They're going to take pride in our locker room. They're going to take pride in our weight room. They're going to take pride in our weight room. They're going to take pride in our film room. They're going to take pride in those areas. They're going to take pride in how they practice. They're going to take pride in how they practice. They're going to take pride in how they play. Everything follows everything. And these guys are great examples of that. And there's a reason. First of all, I love this class. My God, I mean, I've really done. I can tell 100 stories, but I'm not. A lot of these guys I've known since they were little guys, coming over, spending the night at the house. And I can remember, bringing Chris and Mason and Cole. It's like a Sunday or whatever. Like, Coach Crowd, take us up to the weight room. You guys were in 7th or 8th grade. 8th grade. I'm like, listen, guys, when it's your time, and trust me, when I get you, I've got you. But they insisted. I was like, all right, my God, come on. Went up there, opened it up. We did some benching, did some parallel squat. I think we did some lunging. They're about ready to freaking die. I gassed them all. They never asked me to go back to the weight room again, by the way, until I got them. But it's so crazy because now here they are. That seemed like a memory from yesterday. And I knew they were destined to great. And of course, I got to meet more of their friends. But so we're going to congratulate them, not only because they did bring the title back to Tarboro, but we're going to congratulate them for always leading by example and for being great kids. And all of these kids are going to have great futures. I'm excited to see it. Thank you guys so very much. You didn't win the MVP, the state title game. But here's what coaches don't understand. I hope you parents do. We could give the ball to Mason or to Cam or to Caden 30 times a game. And they're going to have 300, 350 yards rushing, 4 or 5 touchdowns against every team we play in college. But that's not how we do it. We're going to do it where we divvy it up. So we're never going to have one time where one player is going to have these god-awful statistics. Could we play them more in the second half when we're already up 50-0? Yes, we could. Are we proving anything? I don't think we are. I'd rather be developing depth for next year and let these guys be fresh because we play a long football season. But with that being said, in my opinion, we had one big mishap, but everybody else was well represented, and we're thankful for these opportunities. So without that being said, hey, running back, we're starting with him. First team all conference, Cam McDowell. Obviously, you guys know we got Cam back. He's going to be a fantastic player for next year. One of the few players here who went up as a freshman. He's been maturing, getting better each and every year. This year, once again, that state title game, I think, might have been the pinnacle so far of what he's been able to achieve, because I think we did give him the ball 20 times at a click of 233 yards and 4 touchdowns. Not bad for a player. to have him back. I'm excited right now. I'm enjoying watching him play basketball. Running back number 2, Kate Neville. I'm done talking numbers. I already said your numbers. So as you guys know, Caden's coming back as well. Yep. They call us the three-headed monster. Caden was usually, like they say, the third of that. Not doing any slight to him because Caden and Mason pretty much they did the 1-2, but they sleep on this guy and he gonna hurt you. He did a lot of things. I believe he scored the first touchdown in the state title. So once again, we finally got him healthy. Finally got him maybe a little knee flare up, but now he's healthy, ready to roll. Finally got him in the weight room today. So you're going to be hearing a lot out of that guy next year. Good job. And running back, not number 3, number 24, but our third running back, Mason Satterfield. You can remember pulling up Mason as a freshman. I forget what game it was, but we gave him the football in South Lord. How far did you go?
70 the first time we beat them by
70 and 50, all you got to give them both of them. I forgot to second, they got both of them. But 2 big runs, and I remember there was an official on the sideline, and he's like, man, he's like, Coach, where did that guy come from? I said, well, he's a freshman. He said, he's a freshman. I said, yeah, we just pulled him up for this game. He's like, man, you got to be kidding me. He's like, that's all you guys do is produce running backs. I mean, the official was amazing. And I was like, nah, I said, I got him for 3 more years. He's going to be a great player for us. And obviously he has, people don't know this, he's actually a really great outside linebacker. I just didn't have to play there because I had some other really good outside linebackers so I could rest him. But there's a lot more to him than just running the football, obviously. He's going to go on, I would think, play football to the next level. I don't know what they're going to do with him there. I imagine running back or a slot or some type of something. But great work ethic, future bright. Unfortunately, I've gotten everything I can out of him, so he's not coming back. But he's had a great career. We're very proud of faces at him. All right, all right. We had 3 offensive linemen, no particular order. Center, Joy Pittman. The thing I always say about offensive linemen, first of all, Coach Burnett does a great job along with Coach Duff, no doubt about it. But if somebody gets hurt during the course of a game and a lineman comes out and a new lineman goes in, and I don't notice, that's a really good thing. And so I forget, was his junior year, in a big game because they came across the county and something happened. I can't remember who got hurt or whatever. It wasn't even really, but all of a sudden, boom, the substitution goes in. Played the rest of the game, big game, didn't even know anything about it until really after the game. We were all just sitting there talking, and I was like, I said, he played the whole second half, the whole third, I don't even remember. He's like, oh yeah. And I was just amazed. And he just basically took over, and this year, and so consistent. Can't beat consistency on that offensive line, especially when, like straight buck, one of our favorite plays, right? 3rd and long, what are you going to run? Let's just run a straight buck, see if we can get a little surge in there. And running right behind him, solid guy, snapping that ball, dependable, always right there for you. And one of those guys, once again, never even knows on the field. But by golly, he was out there every single game and doing his job at a high level. Thank you so much, bud. Congratulations. Offensive lineman number 2, Jamil Warren. With my man Jamil here, now one thing I will say about Jamil, now he wants to block the right person. No doubt about it. Now if he gets on the right person, that right person's in trouble. I guarantee he's strong and he's ready to roll. We moved him to a new position, so you got to be patient, let these guys kind of develop. But my God, sometimes he would make a mistake. Now I wouldn't even have to say nothing to him because right over there. Jamil, let's run your flags. It's going to be okay. He's more hard on himself than anybody, just because he wanted to go right. He felt like he was disappointing his teammates and his coaches by making a mistake. And I was like, look, we'll let you know when you make a mistake. That's what we're here for. You just take a deep breath, give yourself a little space. And throughout the course of the year, he learned to do that. He was the only junior that started on the offensive line. So, he was learning right in there with a bunch of seasoned seniors and did a fantastic job. He'll be a mainstay for us next year. Congratulations, Jamil. And finally, offensive line number 3, not number 3, but my third guy, Tyon Wilson. Now, same thing here. If you look at us up front, and we'll get to it. So sometimes, once you get selected as an offensive lineman or a defensive lineman, you don't get the rinse and repeat. So it just depends on what we do first. Well, obviously, we have some other guys who could have got first team offensive line, didn't get first team defensive line. So that's how it kind of goes. So we kind of give everybody a little bit of room. But, once again, I guess with old Tyon, if I could ever get you and Coach Burnett to hug me, it would be tremendous. Because, great guy to coach, great smile, great personality, and, whenever I ever needed, he's like, Coach, what you need, I'll do it. I'm here, I'm there. Sometimes you just have a little personality conflict and something. It is what it is, but I'll tell you what, once again, you look at from tight end to tight end, and us being able to run the football. Yes, we got great running backs. You guys know that. But we also know if you're a football fan, if we don't got those, I call them my fatties. I mean, that's all respect. If I got my fatties up front making that way, it's going to be tough sledding. And they opened up some nice holes, and then the backs did the rest. But these guys are rock solid. Thank you, Tyler. You did fantastic for us. Thank you so much. All right, we're going to switch over to the defensive line side of the ball. Once again, no particular order, but defensive lineman, not number 1, but our first one, Naquavion Smokey Davis. Smokey been with us for 3 years as a starter, been a mainstay on both sides of the line. Obviously, one of our, not so much the biggest this way, but one of our biggest, strongest guys. Thankfully, he's getting an opportunity to, quite a few of these guys have some opportunities to move on, whether it be Division III ball, Division II, Division I, to continue playing. I look forward to seeing what this young man's going to become. I know it's been a pleasure to coach him. I've been, I think, a 2-year captain. I kind of forget. There was a captain here. I forgot to mention my captains. Captain. We'll have a couple more coming up, but just solid, like I said, on both sides of the ball. Could have been offensive line, defensive line. It didn't want to make a difference. But tremendous kid. Like I said, I'm excited about where he goes. I know where he's going. Let's see what he becomes. Number 2 defensive lineman, Caleb Shinoff. So these 2 guys down in there makes life a lot easier for my linebackers. I'm a linebacker coach. And so we got 2 defensive tackles in there. You can't, if you try to single block one of these guys, they're going to be in for a feeding frenzy. Well, so what usually tells them now, they're going to have to take guard and tackle and block 1. And then as soon as we have a guard and tackle block 1, I got some pretty good linebackers too, as you're getting ready to see. Linebackers are getting over top in a hurry, making a lot of plays. So even sometimes defensive tackles don't stick out. Their statistics may not stick out, but if you have a linebacker inside getting 100 tackles and an open getting 90 and those type of things, there's a reason. Not just because those linebackers are good, but guys like these guys, and Tyon was a defensive tackle as well. I think we rotated all three, so was Jamil. Rotated them all around. They're occupying people. They're doing the dirty work that, may not be getting the big sacks and big tackles. Other people are, but they're the ones behind that scene grinding away. These guys did a fantastic job. Moving on to the defensive, now we're going to the defensive line at the end category, Tyler Powell. Quick story about my man Tyler. In the off season, obviously we had to replace a quarterback. We had Omar for 3 years, did a fantastic job, had a good season for us at ECU, and we knew that Tyler was going to be ready to step into the role. And, I am the head coach, so every now and then I get to use the head coaching card. What I mean that is, I don't care this time what my assistants say, I'm the head coach, and this is what we're doing. So one that I was not going to bend on, and I told him, I said, Tyler Powell's going to be our starting defensive end. I've never had a starting defensive end be my starting quarterback. Never in 21 years. Usually a corner, safety, maybe an outside linebacker, maybe if I have a Sean Draw. But, and so there was some friction there. Well, what if he gets hurt? Well, what if this? What if well, it's a game of football. If he gets hurt, he gets hurt. I can't help it. I said, but this kid's going to be a great defensive end. 20-some, how many sacks? Not that you keep up with stats, how many? 25 sacks. 96 tackle. You guys saw, I called him a wrecking ball on the line. So think about this now. So you got these guys doing the dirty work down below. So they got a double team in. Now you got linebackers running free, and you got guys like him coming off the edge. Now you got a tackle trying to single block that. So what a great job. I was just praying. I was like, hey, God, don't let him get hurt. Because I would never hurt the enemy. But great year, fantastic job. And he had a bookend guy over there. Another all-conference selection. That goes to Josiah Doyle. So Josiah stepped in there quite nicely for us. The good news is, not that I look ahead or anything, but those two guys right there, they are juniors. So I give them bookends coming back again next year. Yes, Tyler's going to start at defensive end again. Letting you know, head coaching card just got played again. Maybe give him a few breaks, but we'll see. But Josiah on the other side, I kidded him a little bit early on in the season. I won't say exactly the barb I gave him. And then all of a sudden, that sack production started going up. I think one game all of a sudden he popped off guard, right? And he's always right there where he's supposed to be. Got a lot of production out of him. He actually, once again, an unselfish Tarboro football player. Halfway through the year, we're kind of getting a little thin at tight end. And he was a fullback for us, and we had 3 or 4 fullbacks. And we're kind of like, hey, Dagon, would you be willing to just kind of switch over and give us a little depth at tight end? Coach, that's what we think I need to do. So halfway through the season, he went over and did a nice job for us on opposites or as a tight end. Probably, I imagine, starting tight end for us on next year's football team. But now we're talking defense with defensive lineman. All right, now we're to the linebacker room. This is where my area, which I love so dearly. So, my God, I'm blessed to coach these kids. No particular order. Cameron Harper. Cameron was my tweener. Obviously, he's more an inside linebacker, but I don't know if you guys noticed, I played him inside, I played him outside, even in the state championship game, right there in the middle of the second quarter. I just moved him right away and just seeing something. I was like, Cameron, listen, I want you to go right down a little bit more of an outside backer for me. But great key reader. I remember, we're a guard reading team, we're a lineman reading team, and it pained me. But I forget who we were playing. It was a Wilson Prep, and they went their little 3-stack. And so when they put the 3 running backs back there, that little stupid set they did, I was like, gosh, the running backs take you to the football. I said, we can't read linemen. And so Cameron was standing beside me, and I said, all right, Cameron, I said, remember, when they checked through this set, we got to read the backfield. He said, we got to do what? I said, yeah, but we got to read the backs. Coach, are you sure? I said, yeah. I said, Cameron, I said, I promise you. I said, I know. I said, next week we'll get back. And I said, but when they jump to this is what we got to do. He's like, okay, I just want to make sure. I didn't want you chewing my tail. I'm looking at that backfield. They pulled it. I said, nope. I said, you got it, bud. So he paid his attention to detail, loved his film study, wanted to go out there and, like I said, he was so versatile, I could move him anywhere. Sometimes he would drop him at defensive tackle and he used his speed across there. So once again, willing to do anything I asked him to do. Thank you, my man. All right, another young man we got coming up. He's going to be a junior coming back to me, Kevius Bridgers. Kevius has been with me now since he's been a sophomore start. Getting better every single year. Got a great football mind. Loves the game of football, the mental aspect of it. Loves reading his keys. I forget what playoff opponent we were getting ready to play, but on a Monday he brought to me a notebook of stats and things. When they're in this formation, they like to do this. When they're in this formation, they like to do this. And was it the state title game or was it the Eastern Finals? Do you remember? It was state? Because it was number 5. Okay, so yeah, he was charting where number 5 was and where number 5 went. This is what they like to do. And when you get young men doing that on their own and putting that kind of time in behind the scenes, then you put on top of what we ask him to do, your film study and practice, you got a chance to be pretty good. But he's getting better and better. Like I said, I know I've been here for a while. I coached his father. But Kevius is a great kid. Got a tremendous future moving ahead, and I'm excited to work with him next year. And our last linebacker for all conference goes to my man, good time, Gabe. So my man, good time, came to us this year. We're happy to have him. He blended right in with the boys right from the very beginning. You know, I was telling him I had to break a few what I call bad habits out of him. Had to get him, in the Tarboro way. But man, he was a quick study of the game of football, getting downhill. He really got really good as the year progressed. Wanted to ask any questions because once again, not wanting to make that mistake, but coach, now if he does this, where's my fit here? And I want to make sure, and all these things. There's a lot more that goes into it than just okay, line it up and just doing this and going crazy. You always got to play on a string as far as a unit. And obviously, I had one of the best units I believe in this entire state, not just 1A football. I'm not talking about. I'd take my 4 or 5 linebackers and I would put them against any. I don't care. I'd put them against any team in the state, as well as they wanted to work together. Sometimes they would sacrifice taking on the blocks so the other linebacker could scrape and make the tackle, and everybody celebrated just the same. So I had one of the best linebacker cores in the state. Very thankful, Gabe. Thank you so much. You had a great season, great working with you. Glad you did today. All right, DB room, and then we'll hit our special awards. So this young man, well-deserved, made a great interception in the state title game. Caught me by surprise. It was Kip Biggs. So Kip's a great example of a young man that kind of got behind the sticks a little bit early on in the summer. Got behind in the depth chart, and so he had to slowly work his way out of that situation. And Coach Hunt, remember, oh my God. Is the customer ready? Okay. So sometime during the season, he made the switch. I think middle, maybe he gave 5 or 6. I don't know. It didn't matter. But he slowly earned that spot. Had 3 pick sixes. Is that correct? Could have had 4 maybe in the state title game for Green, obviously. But I had a great pick. You guys remember they tried to throw that ball across the middle. I think that guy actually had it, and Kip just got snagged in. That was a big stop for us right there, because if he caught that, he could have got maybe a score before the half. He never had changes the game, but they didn't. He made a great play. Come down the line and will hit you. I don't know how much he weighs. I'm guessing about 40, 45, I don't know. But I know one thing, he gets downhill and he'll hit you. Typical Tarboro safety kid. So congratulations, kid. We were blessed to have a defensive player of the year. That would be my son, Cole Crowder. So obviously I enjoyed having Cole on the field. Kind of like having a little mini me out there, not mini me, but a bigger version of me. Once again, Cole was a 3-year starter for me. Did a tremendous job. Thought he was a tremendous leader. Sometimes I wish he wouldn't talk as much as he does on the football field, but sometimes I'm going out there, I'm like, please don't tell me it was number 8. I'm like, sir, who's that penalty on? Coach, that's on number 8. You gotta be kidding me. I'm like, Cole, what, Dad? I go, what do you mean, what, Dad? I want to hear what, Dad? But anyway, great player, both sides of the ball. Obviously, you saw us use him at different positions, inside linebacker, occasionally outside, bring him off as a defensive end sometimes. Thought he did a great job for us, kicking the ball off, extra points, punting when we had to punt, and obviously tight end. He has some touchdown catches for us, so just an overall great player. Obviously special in my heart, all of them are, but your son's always extra special. So it's so great to finally win a state title with him, with his whole entire senior class. But anyway, Cole, congratulations, thank you. All right, so right there, guys, that is our all-conference players. So everybody have a seat. Give everybody. I've spoken, I think, just about with, with everybody. So, yeah. Introduce to you our state MVPs. I've tried to plead to the state of North Carolina to no avail, but I just really think it's an injustice whether you win or lose a state championship game. They let the kids celebrate for like 2 minutes and then everybody's in a hurry. Settle them down, we got to do these awards. Well, if you just won the daggone game, you just want to celebrate with your teammates, and you're not really too concerned about getting an individual award. It doesn't matter, you're just state champion. And if you lost, the last thing you want to do is sit out there and watch a team celebrate and get an award when you lose. I've always just told them, why can't you just give us these trophies, tell us who won them, and then in January, we can either celebrate them, win or lose, not 5 minutes after a win or lose a state title game. But anyway, so we get an opportunity to celebrate them. It's a lot easier to celebrate after you've won. So our defensive MVP of the state title game with approximately 20-some tackles was Cole Crowder. Our offensive MVP of the state title game with, I know you know your stats, 140 yards, 146 yards, a couple touchdowns, bringing in 2 touchdowns. I'm thinking Mason Saturday. And the overall MVP of this year's state title game, well deserved, is Cam McDowell. All right. Congratulations, you guys can take pictures. All right, guys, thank you. So we got 5 more to go, guys, and it's just a little after 8. So I thank you guys for being here and hanging out with us. Hopefully you had a pretty good time. So we have some all-state selections. We decided to honor these with a certificate in a frame for these young men. We had 4 represented. So we had the 2024 high school overtime honorable mention team 2-way state selection. Now Quavion Smokey. We had a second team all-state selection on the defensive side of the football, Tyler Powell. My boys from Tarboro get a little love on the big stage. We had a first team 2-way state selection presented to Cameron McDowell. And we had another first team all-state selection as a inside linebacker presented to Cole Crowder. So our last award, and then I'll just say this before we do this one, guys. First of all, everybody, thank you for coming out. God hopefully understand that how much I love being a part of our community. It means the world to me and to this coaching staff. We take a lot of pride in trying to make sure that every Friday you guys can go out, win or lose that game, but you can watch a team that is well coached, well disciplined, and tries to play the game the right way. And we take a lot of pride in that. I speak about that all the time to these guys behind closed doors. It's so much more than just Tarboro football, but we realize we represent our great community. Number 2, I want to thank you guys for coming out. So when we're done, you guys take your pictures, do whatever it is, and feel free to hang out. Enjoy the rest of the evening. I know it's only Wednesday, tomorrow's Thursday. And number 3, if you would, do me a personal favor, try to clean up your table so I can just get the cloths and I can wash them tomorrow. And obviously, we got to have food here tomorrow. So our last award of the day, I didn't even realize it existed, to be honest with you, but I was brought to my attention. I thought it was really cool. I think you told me this is the 4th one of the history of Tarboro High School. So I think it's a really, really neat award. It doesn't come our way often, but it is the Small Town So a school less than 1,000 students in the entire United States of America. Now we're not talking North Carolina. Now we're branching out. So this is California, Florida, Maine, and Compass. So we had a young man that was selected as a small town All-American for this year, and that honor goes to Cole. I'm going to take a picture. You ain't get in trouble by me now. You take all the pictures you want. So I don't think there's any pressing needs. Guys, thank you so much for showing up. God bless. Coach, you guys, I'll see you tomorrow. Parents, once again, thank you so much. Enjoy the game. Obviously, when you're talking about raising $20,000 in a small town as Tarboro, it's not the easiest thing to do. But I will say this, bragging on our wonderful community and town. As you guys know, we've been blessed to do this 8 times. And every time that bill is always right around, 15, 16, at least 20 something in there. So if you do the math times 8, like over the years that we've been able to, I would say somewhere between $130,000 and maybe $160,000 that we have actually raised as a community to take care of our great young men who obviously when they become state champions, that they deserve to be recognized as such. So I personally want to thank you guys out there, first of all, once again, for your support. And then as soon as we go through the thank yous, which won't take so long, we're going to go through the list, hand out the rings. Everybody's going to come up here, and the rings here. What I would do is just slide it out of this box here. So you kind of just sit there holding it. Nobody takes a sneak peek until everybody's ready. I know you know. So we're all going to, my wife had this idea. She said, yeah, well, you got to do the seniors first, and they get to stand up here and hold it about the longest to try to give you one more little dig to the seniors. But that, when everybody's got it, guys, we'll do the 1, 2, 3. You guys can pop and open. I'm very proud of the ring. Obviously, it took a lot of time. So, without any further ado, and I'm also not going to talk. I'm going to talk about one young man because I just met the banquet. I felt god awful, felt so bad. I called his dad and had to apologize and everything. So I do want to give that young man a little bit of a shot. He did get at the banquet because of my mistake. And but everybody else, we're going to run through and get to the good stuff. So, without any further ado, and these are in no particular order, basically how that money kind of came in or people, and I just started putting the list together. If I happen to forget anybody, or if I missed anybody, trust me, it's an honest mistake. I would never try to do that. Let me know. We'll put you out there on social media. It was just be an honest mistake. So, championship ring sponsors, we had 20 of them. Stanley Foster is always supportive. Cole's Papa and Grandma. I'm going to talk about Sean McDowell a couple times because he did a chicken sale at a basketball game on his own accord and raised some money for us. And then between the Tarboro Football Club, coordinated with Chris Wooten from Jersey Mike's, Mr. and Mrs. Powell, and Sean with the chicken plate. So I usually don't say how much money was raised or how much people donated. I would never say that. But this was a fundraiser that was done in the public eye. And between those two, so we had the 3-day sale at Jersey Mike's, so we had the coupons, which I thought was a great idea for Chris. And then we had the chicken plate sale that I know that the Powells and Sean put up there really, really early. I felt terrible. We couldn't be there. We had to be in Charlotte. But between those two events, we raised a little over $11,000. They're going to be honoring this football team again on June the 3rd at the Tarboro Bandits game at 6 p.m. Obviously, coaches and players get in free. If you want to go to the game as a parent, you have to play. But they're using it as a fundraiser for the Tarboro Football Club. So I think half the concessions or ticket sales and everything is going to go back to Tarboro football. So if you want to get out and watch a baseball game, please come on out June the 3rd. That'll be at 6 o'clock. Back to the sponsors. So we got my man Rick Osborne out there at Ben's Automotive. We got the Golden Cake Club. We got Mears Pit representing Ace Hardware. We got Ricky Thompson. We got Stephen Rustello with On the Square. We got Jerome Creech. We got Denise Anderson. We had the Rotary Club, we had Southern Bank, we had Vincent Bridgers, we had Barnhill Construction separate, then we had a different donation from Bob Barnhill on his own board. We had Taekwondo Lewis, ex-football player, now plays for the Colts, and we had Tarboro Brewing Company. So if you would please give all of our sponsors. So without further ado, I want to start with the boss, get him up on stage, we can stand up here the longest, and then we're going to go through and have a little fun. So without further ado, I'm just going to say a name, and hand him off to the coach. Start off with Mr. Hopkins. And a great friend of mine and a great coach, Coach Rex. Coach Johnson. Stat man, I was finally able to get back. I don't know if he's here, I don't like to see these kind of guys, but always want to fit on. Coach Wilkins. Now we're through the trainers. Of course, we got the number one name trainer I got, Coach Body. We had Coach Riley. We had Coach Kay Randolph. We have Coach Bad. We have Coach Burnett. We have Coach Reed. We have Coach Duff. Okay, so now we're going to do stepping out. switched to running back, and he did that, and later on the season, we needed to go back to quarterback, and he did that, and he just seamlessly gave us everything that he had, got every little ounce out of his athletic body. Obviously, he's not the tallest player I've ever coached, but that never stopped him from being a great kid, a great Tarboro football player. Made a couple of big-time tackles for us on special teams in the state championship game, had a couple of pass breakups, so just a great, great kid coming from a great, great family. That would be Brandon Jones. We got Cole Crowder.
KP still can't hold on, he keep moving.